Good morning, students. Today it is lecture 17 under thermal properties of matter. In the last class we have started the calorimetry problems. In that we have solved two problems. We have solved only two problems. Now today let me go further for the calorimetry of problems of different type. Okay. So now first let me just write the formula for the calorimetry. Already you know the formula is, it is heat lost is equal to heat gain. Nothing but you are using the concept of conservation of energy. So the principle used is heat lost is always equal to heat gain. So first I write calorimetry. The formula for this, that is heat lost is equal to heat gain. Heat lost is equal to heat gain. So this is the one point you have to remember. In this, you are also calculating the concept of the one quantity of heat. When you are calculating the specific heat, you are using the formula in this where Q is equal to mc delta T. Where you already know Q is the quantity of heat supplied to it, m is said to be the mass of a given substance, C is said to be for specific heat capacity of a given substance, delta T rise in temperature. So here in this one more formula you come across when you want to say with respect to, this is based on specific heat. So please remember, whenever you are calculating with respect to specific heat, we use this formula. Suppose if you are using one more formula, Q is equal to M into N. This formula, whenever you are calculating the concept of change of state. So whenever you want to calculate change of state, you are using the one formula Q is equal to M into L, where M is said to be the mass of a given substance, L is said to be the latent heat. So according to the one concept, maybe latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization. So whatever the concept you come across, based on that you calculate here. This comes under change of state. So these things you already know. Remember here, whenever there is a change of state, you know the concept. So the one of the substance, if it is solid, when you supply the temperature, that will rise to certain extent. That solid substance, they will rise to certain substance, and finally when it reaches the final temperature, at that time it changes from one state to another state, maybe solid to liquid. So whenever the state, solid to liquid state changes, at that time temperature remains constant. So this concept you come across under the change of state. So this point you just remember. Here this is specific heat. Here as and when you heat the substance, the one substance will rise the temperature. You are supplying the heat. The temperature rises to a certain extent. So that concept you explain using the formula Q is equal to mc delta T. So these two formulas we are learning today also. Let me solve the one important type problem based on calorimetry. So this based on the calorimetry I will solve. I will just read this question. A sphere of aluminium. Third problem under the calorimetry. A sphere of aluminium. Sphere of aluminium of 0.047 kg. Placed for sufficient time in a vessel containing boiling water. Boiling water so that the sphere is at 100 degrees centigrade. The sphere is at 100 degrees centigrade. It is then immediately transferred to 0.14 kg copper, 14 kg copper calorimeter containing 0.25 kg of water, 0.25 kg of water at 20 degrees centigrade. The temperature of water rises and attains a steady state. At 23 degrees centigrade. At 23 degrees centigrade. Calculate the specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity of aluminium. So here in this, just remember, we have learned in the previous class regarding calorimetry experiment which we do in the laboratory. That experiment I have explained how we conduct the experiment in the laboratory. So here the same problem is given here. So you had to use the conditions and then you had to solve the specific heat capacity of aluminium. So here they have given one sphere and the sphere is made up of aluminium. Its mass is given. The aluminium sphere mass is given and that mass solid substance it is, and that is placed in the one vessel which is containing boiling water. Already the water which is already boiled, you can say in the water tub they are placing the solid substance. Boiling water means you know naturally it is 100 degrees centigrade. So you can directly take boiling water 100 degrees centigrade. But even then I said you are measuring using thermometer. So when you measure it, they also found that boiling water when it is placed in that which shows 100 degrees centigrade. Means a solid substance shows 100 degrees centigrade whenever it is placed in the boiling water. Again it is then, so when you get 100 degrees centigrade of that one solid substance which is reaching the one boiling point of water, that solid substance they are removing from the one water bath and they are transferring immediately to the copper calorimeter. They are transferring this to copper calorimeter and that copper calorimeter is consisting of the one container consisting of water and that water is of 0.25 kg. Water is of 0.25 kg and that water is having initial temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. Earlier the container is consisting of water and that water mass is given 0.25 kg, that is mass of water. and the temperature, initial temperature of water they have noted down, which is of 20 degrees centigrade. Now for that container which is consisting of water, in that they are putting this aluminum sphere which is of solid substance, which has been heated to 100 degrees centigrade, is being transferred to that container. When you are transferring to that container means what happens? Naturally the mixture, water and solid substance, whatever is there in the container will be transferring its temperature to complete container. Therefore you can observe that the temperature changes. Means when you observe the thermometer, earlier whatever the temperature was 20 degrees centigrade will never show 20, it starts rising. So it will be rising. So you have to watch up to the one steady state. So when it is rising, after some time it stops. Means it has attained steady state. When it has attained steady state, when it has reached 23 degrees centigrade. At that time, they just note down the one steady state, means now it will never show change in temperature. The temperature will never change. That temperature we call it as it has attained steady state. So that temperature you have to note down. Now using all these values, we have to calculate specific heat capacity of aluminium. So here the basic principle we are using is calorimetry. And this calorimetry principle is heat loss is equal to heat gain. We who is losing the one heat, the one solid substance. Earlier it has been heated to some temperature. That solid substance is put into water. Means it is already, earlier it has temperature. Now the temperature has lost. That we have to note down the one heat lost. And as it when you are putting into the container, earlier the temperature of the container was 20 degrees centigrade. When you are putting the one solid substance, it has gained some temperature, and that gaining of temperature which is in the calorimeter you have to note down. So first step, let me write the heat lost. As per the principle of calorimetry, first step you have to remember, heat lost is equal to heat gain. This concept you have to remember. Only to write this principle requires 1 mark. So this is for 5 mark problems. Under 5 mark, this step itself carries 1 mark. Means you are using the concept of calorimetry. Now, before going to the steps, heat loss is equal to heat gain. Let me write what are the given things here. So the given things as per the one substance, you already know that the one heat given by the aluminum sphere, which is equal to the heat absorbed by water. That concept and calorimeter. So that water is absorbing heat from the sphere and also the calorimeter. That concept you have to write down. So that is the one concept we write. Heat gained, that is gained by the aluminum sphere, is absorbed by the calorimeter and water. That principle we have to know down, where heat lost is equal to heat gain. So let me just write heat given by aluminium. Heat given by aluminium is aluminium sphere. Let me say heat given by aluminium sphere is absorbed by the, that is you can say sphere will be equal to, means that is the one heat given by aluminium sphere. This is the one nothing but lost. Is aluminium is equal to heat absorbed by water and calorimeter. So this is the one point you have to remember. So earlier heat given by aluminum sphere is equal to the one heat absorbed by the water as well as calorimeter. Means heat lost is equal to heat gain. So first let me write what is the one heat lost. I think first let me write the one specific heat capacity of that substance. We have taken sphere mass is known. Along with that you know the one temperature changes. Using that first we have to calculate the one specific heat capacity of aluminium. So first let me write the mass of aluminium sphere. The given things are right here. Given. So I'll write mass of aluminium. How much it is? It is 0.047 kg. So this is mass of aluminium sphere. And we do not know the specific heat of aluminium sphere. That should be calculated. So let me write the one specific heat capacity of aluminium. Thus we have to calculate here. Okay. Now the next step, the one you have to write the one temperature. What was the temperature, initial temperature of the sphere? Earlier it has been heated to 100 degrees centigrade. So that has been taken as 100 degree initial temperature of the sphere. And that one here it is put into the container where its final temperature was 23. So let me write initial temperature. Initial temperature is equal to 100 degrees centigrade of what? Aluminium sphere. Initial temperature of aluminium sphere. Now the one aluminium sphere is immediately transferred to the one copper calorimeter they have said. So immediately are transferring. At that time the one temperature has been attained to steady state. So that final temperature is 23 degrees centigrade. How much it is? It has attained 23 degree of the one whenever you put into the substance, the one water is containing water, and then in that temperature was 20 earlier. Now because of this temperature and that water, it is a mixture now. It will raise to some steady state. That you have noted down 23 degree centigrade. So now what is the change in temperature now? Earlier initial temperature, this is final temperature. Therefore change in temperature. Change in temperature is equal to 100 minus 23 will give 77 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this first step we have calculated. This is the one first step we have written here, where I can write the heat specific heat capacity of aluminium you already know. Now first let me write the amount of heat lost. So let me write here in this case here heat lost by aluminium sphere. Heat lost by aluminium sphere is equal to mc delta T. But we know m is said to be mass of aluminium. This is specific heat of aluminium rise in temperature. In this already we know mass of aluminium. We know mass of aluminium. But we do not know specific heat of aluminium. Let us keep it as it is. We will calculate it further. What is delta T? The rise in temperature. So let me just write the equation now. For this I just write this is equal to m. It is 0.047 into C. Specific heat of aluminium is as it is. Into rise in temperature. It is 77 degree centigrade. So just let me write this one. The one values mc delta T. So first let me just write these things. So you need not calculate, keep it as it is now. Again I will wait for the next step. Now let us go for the next step. The one heat gain. Equations let us write. Heat gained by what? Heat gained by the water as well as calorimeter. So those two steps I have to write down. So let me write the heat gained by water. Heat gained by water and calorimeter. This step we should know on the other side. So what is it? First heat gained by calorimeter means, let me write here it is, that is MW CW into delta T, because the specific heat of the one water. This you know to the condition. And one more we have the nothing but the one calorimeter. Specific heat that is nothing but here copper calorimeter they have said. So let me write this is the one plus mass, that is mass of copper, mass of copper calorimeter mc, that is calorimeter, and specific heat of calorimeter you know that specific heat of calorimeter mc itself. Okay, this mass of calorimeter, this one specific heat of calorimeter, that is copper calorimeter into delta T. This is what is this? It is as good as water equivalent. Water equivalent means as and when you put the solid substance in that there is a mixture you have, it will, the amount of heat absorbed is always equal to the one, whatever the heat given to it. Heat absorbed and is equal to heat gain. So first let me write the initial temperature of water. Initial temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. Initial temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. Of what? Temperature of water. This is for water. What is final temperature of water? Final temperature of water. How much it is? 23 degrees centigrade. So that is rising temperature. Rising temperature is 3 degrees centigrade. Because you know 23 minus, let me write like this, 23 minus 20 degree is 3 degrees centigrade. So this is the one temperature delta T you have calculated. In both the case you know the one delta T, right? Now mass of the 1 calorimeter water, you let me write specific heat of water, let us write how much it is specific heat of water in this case, and also let us, I just equate this one formula. This is nothing but mass of calorimeter. Mass of calorimeter, mass of the copper, how much it is, let us write mass of copper it is, and also the calorimeter value along with this. So let me write mass of copper calorimeter. This is specific heat of copper calorimeter into delta T. So I just write the formula for this one, that is MW CW plus M copper plug into C of copper calorimeter, right, into delta T. I will take this T outside, so it will be very comfortable for us to solve easily. Now let me substitute mass of water. Mass of water is of mass of the one, it will transfer to 0.014 kg of copper calorimeter they have said. So mass of copper it is. Mass of water is how much? 0.25 kg. So this is 0.5 into specific heat of the one water. You already know in the previous class it is of, that is 4.18 into 10 raised to 3 joules per kg per Kelvin. So I write 4.18, that is 4186, you know, that can be written as 4.18 into 10 raised to 3 joules per kg per Kelvin it is. And this copper, here this value is given already, how much it is mass of copper, 0.14 kg it is, into the one specific heat capacity of copper. Copper value you should be remember it is 0.386 into 10 raised to 3. It is 0.386 into 10 raised to 3 into this delta T. Delta T is already you know it is 3 degree. So if you just add and after multiplying you get the value which is already have calculated separately, the one rise in temperature. Directly you can keep it is 23 minus 3 is 20 is 3 degrees centigrade. So you get the answer for this is where it is equal to, this is the one value you have, and this heat loss is equal to heat gain. Therefore this is for heat given by the gain by water and calorimeter. So therefore finally you are equating final equation. Therefore that is you can write it is equal to 0.047 into C specific heat capacity of an aluminium into 77 is equal to 0.25 into 4.18 into 10 raised to 3 plus 0.14 into 0.386 into 10 raised to 3 into 3 degrees centigrade. Complete you are multiplying by 3 degrees and you are equating for this. Finally you are calculating for specific heat capacity of aluminum. After equating and finally you are getting the answer for this is 0. This value will become, it is that is specific heat of aluminum. kilojoules per kg per Kelvin. What is this K means? It is nothing but 10 raised to 3. So here already you get it is as good as 10 to the power of plus 3 joules per kg per Kelvin. This is the one value you are getting for 0.911. It is exactly what we have done in the previous class regarding laboratory experiment. Similar type it is. There I said solid substance. Here they have done nothing but aluminum sphere, which is a solid substance. Now first we measure it. Already they have measured and they have given, that is of 0.047 kg. Now what we are doing? We are placing this in the water bath, which is already boiled water. 100 degrees centigrade they are boiling that water. In that hot water bath they are putting this solid sphere. But remember, already you know water is 100 degrees centigrade, but the sphere when you are putting in it, maybe slightly it may change the sun temperature, but we wait up to the one temperature reaching to 100 degrees centigrade. So the mass of the sphere is 100 degrees centigrade. Sorry, the one temperature of the sphere is 100 degrees centigrade. This is the first step. What is the second step? That whatever the solid sphere you are measuring and you are heating to it, that is now immediately transferred to the calorimeter. They are transferring to the one calorimeter. So that calorimeter is already consisting of the one copper vessel. In that they are putting this water. So already they have measured it. That mass already they have given here. Mass of copper calorimeter is given. In that they are putting this water, which is of 0.25 kg of water they are putting it. So they are separately that one. In that they are immediately they are transferring this solid sphere to it. Means earlier the water temperature they have measured and they have noted down it was 20 degrees centigrade. Now as and when this hot solid sphere is put into it, naturally the temperature changes. What happens? Then there is an increase in the temperature. Naturally the thermometer rises because of cold water as well as hot solid substance. So temperature rises. It will rise up to some extent. It will reach to certain extent and reaches up to 23 degree and maintains a steady state. When you are saying steady state means there is no change in temperature even if you supply some more extra amount of heat. That will never show any changes. Neither rise or fall. It will remain constant. That point is called as steady state. It has reached 23 degrees centigrade steady state. That you have noted down. Now you are measuring now all these steps and finally you are writing the principle. Heat loss is equal to heat gain and you are writing this formula. Here heat gained by what? Heat gained by calorimeter plus heat gained by water. So these two will add in the one heat gain. What is heat loss? Heat lost by solid sphere. This point already I have calculated. Now you have already calculated this. Now both the equations have been substituted here because heat loss is equal to heat gain. This is the one point we are writing here. Heat loss is equal to heat gain. This point. By just equating, you get this specific heat of aluminum. This is a very important problem. This you expect in the one theory paper for 5 marks. Whatever you have done doing in the laboratory, the same experiment you get for 5 marks in the theory paper. Suppose if the same experiment you are doing in the laboratory, all these steps you will follow there and you finally calculate specific heat of calorimetry. That is of what? Specific heat of the solid substance using that calorimetry. That is also for the practical class you are doing as well as one fine day you are also facing practical exam, one experiment for 20 marks. So at that time we are also following the same procedure. So remember, it is as good as practical question as well as theory paper question you are getting, and sometimes if they do not give this one in the one practical part, you directly get in the one theory paper exactly for 5 marks. All the values will be given, suitable formula to use and finally you have to calculate. And you know specific heat capacity of the one aluminum sphere, the SI unit is joules per kg per kilo. So this step you have to follow. Hope you understood this one. It's very important. So please learn this experiment correctly, understand the things. Without any difficulty you can do it. Okay. Now let me go for one more type problem. The next question. The fourth problem. So here in this problem, now I am going for the different type problem. Here you come across both the formulas, both specific heat as well as change of state in this problem. You are also doing the experiment, the one using calorimetry, you are solving this. So let me tell you how to solve this question, which is very important and simple it is, but you have to understand very carefully. Then you can solve the problem very easily without any difficulty. The next question. Calculate the heat required. Calculate the fourth problem in this under calorimetry. Calculate the heat required. Heat required 3 kg of ice. 3 kg of ice at minus 12 degrees centigrade kept in a calorimeter. Kept in a calorimeter to steam at 100 degrees centigrade. 100 degrees centigrade at atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure. Given specific heat capacity. Given specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity of ice 2100 joules per kg per Kelvin. Next, latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion of ice. Is equal to 3.35 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg per Kelvin. Joules per kg per Kelvin. Latent heat of steam. Latent heat of steam 2.256 into 10 raised to 6 joules per kg. Joules per kg. Here latent heat of fusion of ice, it is 3.35 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. That is joules per kg basically. So they have given these data. Without any difficulty you can solve, but the steps to be followed here is, in this problem they have given ice, which is of 3 kg ice. 3 kg ice is given and that ice temperature is minus 12 degrees centigrade. Hope you are understanding what I say. So already they have an ice block of 3 kg which is minus 12 degrees centigrade. This ice is of minus 12 degree centigrade. Now this kept in a calorimeter. They have put in calorimeter. You already know wooden box will be there. Inside they have nothing but called as copper calorimeter. There they are putting this ice cube. And that calorimeter it is steam to 100 degrees centigrade. Means they are heating to 100 degrees centigrade. Minus 12 degree ice is heated to 100 degrees steam. So that you have to, they have given this question. Only the first one step they have given the question. 3 kg ice is given. That ice temperature is minus 12 degrees centigrade. Now that is put into calorimeter, and that calorimeter, in that they are boiling the one, this thing but steam. Already the one water is there, that steam which is equal to 100 degrees centigrade. You mean to say here that ice has been converted to steam. Minus 12 degree ice is converted to steam. So at this time, what happens to the one, nothing but called as the heat required. How much heat is required to convert this 3 kg ice to steam up to 100 degrees centigrade. So quantity of heat you have to calculate. This will never be solved in one step. You have to follow the stages. What are the stages you come across here? Remember, first we have ice that is of minus 12 degrees centigrade. That ice minus 12 degrees centigrade, first let us write the quantity of heat. We are putting this one heat to it, due to which that minus 12 degrees centigrade is reaching to 0 degrees centigrade. So that quantity of heat you have to calculate. So when once it is coming to 0 degrees centigrade means you are changing from ice to 0 degrees centigrade, ice minus 12 degrees centigrade to ice to 0 degrees centigrade. This is first step. When ice is at 0 degrees centigrade, you are converting this to water. That is nothing but water to 0 degrees centigrade. Again, that is the second stage. Means you are changing the state. Okay. Now that water is 100 degrees centigrade, 0 degrees centigrade, is now boiled to 100 degrees centigrade. That is the third stage. So you are boiling to the one water up to the 100 degrees centigrade. Well, once 100 degrees centigrade has reached, now again that boiling water has again heated to 100 degrees centigrade means of steam. Means you are changing the state again. Means what you are doing? You are changing from boiling water to steam. So here that is the fourth stage. So here we have 4 stages to get the one answer here. How much quantity of heat you have to calculate. So 4 stages to be followed. In that 2 stages you are calculating specific heat, and other 2 stages you are calculating the one change of states. So total 4 stages are there. Under 4 stages, 2 stages you are calculating specific heat, 2 stages you are calculating the one change of state. So after getting all these 4 stages, finally you calculate the sum of these 4 stages. Nothing but, for example, if you have named the first stage as Q1, second stage Q2, third stage Q3, fourth stage is Q4. Now you just add all this. The sum of all this, net amount of quantity of heat required to convert 3 kg of ice to 100 degrees centigrade steam. So that net quantity of heat is total is Q, where Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. So all these 4 stages you have to add. That gives the final answer. Hope you understood what I said. It's very simple question, but these stages to be followed to get the quantity of heat. So that stages I am staying step by step. You can follow very easily and you will never find difficulty here. Okay. Right. Now the first stage. Let me first write what are the given things here and also the quantity of heat. 3 kg of ice is converted from minus 12 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade. So these are the 1 steps to be followed to calculate from the ice of 3 kg at minus 12 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade steam. So this is the step formula we are calculating. So let me write one point. The given things. What are the given things here? Mass of ice 3 kg. What was the temperature for this? The temperature is, how much it is? Ice temperature is, it is nothing but minus 12 degrees centigrade. The temperature of ice is minus 12 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now, then the one whatever the given things here they have given, the specific heat capacity of ice, nothing but ice, specific heat of ice, which is equal to 2100 kg joules per kg. joules per kg per Kelvin. Next, latent heat of fusion of ice, that is L ice, is equal to, it is 3.35 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. This is latent heat of fusion of ice. Next, latent heat of the one steam. Latent heat of steam, which is equal to 2.256 into 10 raised to 6 joules per kg. So these are the one given things already in the question. Using this, you have to convert from 0 temperature minus 12 degree centigrade ice is converted to how much it is? It is converted to 100 degree centigrade steam. This concept you should remember here. So these are the things you have to follow here. These are given things in this problem. So they are given here. Now using this, what let me do here is step by step I will solve. Here first step I say here, that is Q1. What is this Q1? The quantity of heat required. The 3 kg of ice, it is at minus 12 degree centigrade into, we are converting to 0 degree centigrade. So I am just supplying the heat. So when you supply the heat, what happens? Temperature changes. How does the temperature changes? Temperature rises. Earlier it was minus 12 degree centigrade. You are supplying some heat, due to which it will become minus 11, minus 10, minus 9, like this it will become to 0 degree. So that is the first step. So where first step is Q1 is equal to the quantity of heat supplied to the 3 kg ice at minus 12 degree centigrade to 0 degree centigrade. Means you are converting from minus 12 degree centigrade to 0 degree centigrade, means you are supplying some heat. So that ice will be converted from minus 12 degree to 0 degree. Then the temperature rises. So at that time we have to use this formula, nothing but the concept of specific heat. We are using Q is equal to mc delta T. So what is this? Q1 is equal to mc delta T. So here mass of ice is how much? It is, mass of ice is 3 kg and remaining all are in SI system. Let me write in SI system. Specific heat of the one ice is given, it is 2100 into rising temperature. It is now, earlier it was minus 1 degree centigrade, that is initial temperature. What is the final temperature? Final temperature, it is reaching to 0 degree centigrade. So final temperature minus initial temperature. Final temperature is 0 degree minus of minus 1 degree. So this becomes minus into minus becomes plus. So you get Q1 is equal to 3 into 2100 into minus plus becomes 12. So this becomes Q1 is equal to, it is nothing but value is 75,006, that is 600 joules. This is Q1. Hope you understood what is the first step. That is Q1 is equal to mc delta T. You are calculated using specific heat formula. Okay. What is the second step? Now this 0 degree centigrade. Now we are changing that 0 degree centigrade ice to water. Means you are changing the state. You are changing the state now. So you have to use this latent heat formula. So second step is Q2. Q2 is, that is quantity of heat supplied. Quantity of heat supplied to 3 kg, that is to ice. Quantity of heat supplied to ice at 0 degree centigrade to, you are supplying from 0 degree centigrade ice to 0 degree nothing but water it is. Ice is converted to, that is nothing but you are converting to, it is water at 0 degree centigrade. Ice is converted to water. Ice is a solid substance. You already know in the last class, solid is changing to liquid. So this is nothing but the concept of change of state. This is applying heat, it becomes water. So this is at 0 degree centigrade. Now this water is at 0 degree centigrade. What you are doing? You are supplying some heat due to which ice is changing to water. So this water at 0 degree centigrade. At 0 degree centigrade. So this step you are following. At this time you are using the concept of change of state. So use the formula Q2 is equal to M into L. What is this L? L is latent heat of fusion of ice. Nothing but you are heating this. So here what is the concept? That is latent heat of fusion. Nothing but here it is latent heat of fusion concept we are using. Latent heat of fusion. So I write L, that is L ice. It is latent of fusion. M is how much? Mass is 3 kg. Latent of fusion is 3.33 into 10 raised to 5. This is the one value. You get the answer for this Q2 is where Q2 is equal to 1 that is 1005. It is triple zeros joules. This is the one quantity of heat. Now we are converting the one ice to water. So this is second step. What is the third step? This is now next comes the third step Q3. What is Q3? Now you have got water at 0 degree centigrade. Now you are boiling this to 100 degree centigrade. Means you are boiling from 0 to 100 degree centigrade means water has reached to boiling point. So quantity of heat supplied to the water at 0 degree centigrade to how much? 100 to 100 degree centigrade. Means you are rising the temperature now. You are boiling that water. Now you have to use this specific heat concept. At this time, I use the formula Q3 is equal to mc delta T. What is this here? M is 3 kg. Specific heat of water. That is nothing but you are boiling this water now. So boiling this water means you are using the concept of 4186 joules. So 4186 joules into. Now here the initial temperature was 0 and final temperature was 100 degree. So final temperature minus 0 degree. Initial temperature, it is 100 minus 0. It is as good as 100 minus 0 is 100 degree centigrade. So you get the value 100 into this much. And that is 100 into 3 into 4 into 186. You get the value which is 12558. It is 00. 1255800 joules. Means this much amount of heat is required to convert the water to 0 degree centigrade to 100 degree. You are boiling the water, so you are supplying this much amount of heat. Okay, right. Now the next step, Q4. Here what you are doing? You are supplying the heat. The quantity of heat is supplied. Quantity of heat is supplied to water at 100 degree centigrade to steam at 100 degree centigrade. Means you are boiling water now. That boiling water is changing to steam. Nothing but here is reaching to 100 degree centigrade for the steam. So again what you are doing? You are changing the state. You are changing from liquid to gaseous state. So here again what is the concept? Remember, if you have liquid, now the state is liquid. You are changing to steam. So liquid to steam. What is this? Nothing but water. Water to steam you are using. When you are just heating means what happens? Now earlier water was 100 degree centigrade. That steam is reaching to 100 degree centigrade. Here what is the concept called as? It is called as latent heat. Latent heat of, that is steam, or you can say latent heat of vaporization. This you can also call it as latent heat of steam or latent heat of vaporization. This concept will come across here. Please observe, these are the statements, definitions you have learned. Now today you are learning problem. So here again formula Q is equal to Q4 is equal to m into L. L of water, latent of vaporization. So this is m is 2.256 into 10 raised to, here it is 6. If you multiply, you get the value, that is Q4 is equal to, you get it as 6768000. 6768000 joules. So this much amount of heat is required to convert water at 100 degrees centigrade to the steam at 100 degrees centigrade. So we have followed 4 stages. Now under 4 stages, remember 2 specific heat stages, 2 latent heat stages. So this is specific heat stage. You can remember this is specific heat concept. Just remember here. Okay. Now this concept is latent heat stage. This is latent heat. Hope you understood this one. This again specific heat. This third one is specific heat. Next, this is latent heat. So you have followed 4 stages. In that 2 stages are specific heat and 2 stages are latent heat. So these stages you have observed now. Now what is the one final concept? You have to calculate the heat required, total amount of heat. So total amount of heat. Total amount of heat required to convert that is ice minus 12 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade steam. So you have converted total heat, that Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. So all the 4 stages you have to add. This Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So the final answer is, it is equal to 9.1 into 10 raised to 6 joules. So this much amount of heat is required to convert 3 kg of ice to the one minus 12 degrees centigrade to the steam at 100 degrees centigrade. So these are the steps. So hope you understood. I have explained all the steps including the one latent heat and specific heat, and have made the separate 4 stages, and each stage I have said what are the things. So this is the one final answer you have to remember here. So in this you have come across both the concept, specific heat as well as latent heat. Hope you understood this one.